bro, back then, VGMA was a big deal. Back then, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
Orchestra was coming on stage with wheelbarrows and stuff. It was a big deal.
Okay. I can't even tell if you're trolling. How can you say it's a big deal and then your big deal factor is a wheelbarrow?
It was a big deal in terms of like the experience because we know orchestra to be like the Abodama time.
I think he even came without the tie. Bro, he was in a big tie.
It was a big deal at that time. But it's like times of now, things change.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sincerely Accra podcast. My name is Joseph NC. And this podcast is brought to you by the GCR Network, the #1 podcast hosting network in the whole Ghana. And of course, a quick shout out to my co-creator and producer, Mr. Kwame Asante-Ofori, locking it down on the other side, Anyway, today's episode is going to be very interesting because we're going to be talking TGMAs. And to do that, I brought a very interesting individual I discovered on Twitter. Okay, he put out a video. I can't remember. He says it's probably when he was talking about Black Hole, but I remember seeing a video and like he was just talking very emphatically, passionately about something to do with music. And I said, who is this? And I've been following, So when Kwame and I decided to do TGMAs, I said, I know just the person to call. And if you've never seen me wearing sunglasses on here, it's because he wears sunglasses. And so in solidarity, I'm also wearing sunglasses, Anyway, I have Reginald Amaah in the building from the Full Asset Show on Full Circle. Is it Productions Network?
It's Full Circle.
It's Full Circle.
Yeah, it's just Full Circle.
Just Full Circle.
Yeah.
And I'm also just finding out that he's a DC boy. That's crazy. I feel like this year, last year, I found out that a lot of people are from DC
boys.
Yeah, even like when I talked to Mensa and Samini and all of that, I was like,
wow. Yeah. You and Samini.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome.
Bro, thanks.
So can you tell people real quick about your show, Full Access?
So obviously like Full Access, Full Circle. So yeah. But Full Access is basically like a music editorial block on Full Circle's YouTube, where it's myself and then maybe a talent or a creative where we talk about music. But predominantly it's just me speaking on like stuff that you or any other person wouldn't want to speak on. Or maybe they are too scared to speak on that. Me, I'll come and talk.
What makes them too scared to speak on it?
They are scared to step on toes and whatnot.
So
but
you are
they
not
forget that when you step on the toes, like those people, low-key, they'll come back and be like, oh yeah, I picked nuggets from whatever it is that you said. So yeah.
Has that been your experience?
Oh yes.
Oh really?
Yeah, multiple times.
Hey, I thought the egos would be in play. Don't come and tell you that.
No. Like they see me outside and it's cool.
Oh, you're outside a lot?
Not necessarily, but I pop my hair like few places sometimes.
Oh, okay.
But it's cool. Like when they see me, it's cool. It's all Gucci.
So, would you say there are any inspirations for how you like do your show, your presentation? Because I'm thinking, like when I first saw your video, it was given a little bit of like Joe Budden meets. Why are you laughing?
Nah, that's very spot on. Is it right? Yeah, that's very spot on.
Is that like?
That's very spot on.
Inspiration?
So, to be very honest, when I was starting Full Access, mind you, I didn't want to do this.
Okay,
like, bro, I wanted to stay in the dark and just do my thing. But yeah, they were like, my people were like, yeah, Charlie, you for do this. Make we put camera together. Make we put camera, set slides and things, then make we do them. It's like, cool. Already, I've been listening to like music podcasts.
Okay.
I've been listening to that. Bro, I enjoy listening to podcasts even more than listening to
Which music podcasts do you listen
to? There's one with Kimping, Ferrari, and then Wendy Day. I've forgotten. Cheat Code.
Okay.
I've been listening to Joe Budden too as well. Just today, I was listening to Rory and Mal.
Okay.
I've been listening to a couple of them, a handful of them. And if it's like 30 minutes, I don't enjoy it. It has to be 3 hours or 2 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Bet.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Long form conversation is the best. It's just that sometimes the part of the world that we live in is like everybody's saying, oh, attention span. So we have to keep them short form content. And then it's not as,
It's not really.
Yeah.
What do you want to tell me? That's me, my Full Access. That is short too. So
hey, your words, not mine. But anyway, let's just jump right into it. Okay, right. TGMAs, the 26th edition, and I wanted to start by talking about the evolution of the awards. And I feel like every year the same problems keep running through, and it's like when they fix one thing, then another thing that didn't work gets worse.
Right.
We never get our start time. well. I mean, I feel like it still seriously doesn't make sense that you have to, if me just sitting at home waiting for the awards to finish, I get exhausted. So I cannot imagine that you go and you sit in that auditorium till 2, 3 a.m. I feel like we really need to do something about that. There's always technical issues with performances. The experience in there is not the same as what translates on TV. I don't know what kind of sound setup they have to do to make that work. Because a lot of people say, oh, the thing was nice. When we are watching on
camera,
TV, you know, and we know it's possible. What else? The hosts, you know, I feel like there was a time when coming on there and being, hi guys, my name is Reginald Amaah, and I'll be your host for tonight. I feel like it used to work, early 2000s, but we are in a like...
Chris, I thought time, it used to work.
It used to work. Right now, we're in a relatability, you know, era. I feel like come here and make the substance of your hosting more about the categories, the music, like, you know what I mean? So it's like we have some of the... This is just some of the things that I have noticed. What would you say?
So I feel like with what you just said about like the hosting, it's feeling like those times. It hasn't changed. Like it's still like it's been flat for a long time. You can use any other person. You can even pick a doctor and let the person host TGMA. If you orient the person well on the awards, the person will be able to deliver a stellar performance by like hosting. You just have to orient the person well, because obviously you need to know where and when. And you need to know how to go about it. So you don't have to, like, you don't need hosts who just come on and then they'll just do, oh, and my outfit is sponsored by...
Yes. It's like every time they change, then they'll come and say, what do you think about my outfit? Oh, yes, you really killed it.
It's supposed to move far past that. Like, the hosts are supposed to even, like, give us nuggets. So that when you're even sitting at home or you're even sitting in the midst of the people you're watching, you be like, hey, I never knew this. Oh, this is what... okay.
Like, actually, like, also, I just feel like be well-versed in... For example, when I was watching the Grammys, just the opening that Trevor did, he was talking about who was nominated. The number, if like,
the number
for example...
of people on the board.
Yes.
Who was allowed to vote. All these things.
If Beyonce wins, this will be her 30 this award. Yes. This person has won 5 awards since the awards thing started. Like, you're giving us information that we have to Google. But we're getting all that. But what do we get? Oh... And I want to give a quick shout out to Pistis for my gown. And that can be an Instagram caption when you post the picture. You know what I mean? I feel like the hosts, and they don't also like create moments. So for example, I think was it the Oscars when Ellen DeGeneres did like the selfie thing, you know, the hosts are always adding to the entertainment value. But like, our hosts...
It's almost like it's always flash. There's this BT Awards, this thing. Was like Real Husbands of whatsoever.
Yes. Kevin Hart.
And he was about to present an award, but he created a moment by literally trolling everyone's outfits.
Yes.
And Kevin wasn't the host.
Yes.
But it like even created a moment. We have people coming and they're coming to present awards, and the nominees are, and it's flat, and then they go. There's no substance. Like, you being there, why are you there?
Yes, it's true. I also feel like when there's no intentionality, because, you know, when you look at like the international awards, the people that come there, usually, like say, Sinners is out. So they can have the cast of Sinners come and do stuff. I feel like, you know, they're hand in hand, you know, because people have things that they are promoting, whether it's film, whatever. You can work with them. They come on, do a little... So these are some of the issues that I have with the show. What are some of the issues you have with the show aside the hosting?
I think Charlie means a lot too, because last year, Charlie, like we're actually working on one of the performances. Like, everything looked great from the rehearsal and all of that.
Do you want to say who?
Oh, Promise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kim Promise. Yeah, Kim
the
Promise.
little vocal moments.
Yeah, it was like everything looked great. Promise was supposed to go on stage at 9. Bro, could you believe that it was 9 and the technical team, lights, camera, sound, they were like, oh, it's past 9, it's like 9:15, and Promise has like, they've not gotten word yet. Bro, they said it's 9. Whether it's 9:45 or whatsoever, be there and wait for the guy to climb the stage. But once it's 9, that's when your time starts. Because they said it's 9, come to my house at 9. Whether you come at 9:05 or 9:09 and I'm not there, just come to my house at 9. So you're supposed to be there, bro. Time goes, Promise comes up. And bro, last year, we actually did a lot of things. Promise's performance was supposed, like, he performed in water.
Yeah, I saw.
Yes. The lighting and everything, some way. I watched it on TV, I was like,
it didn't translate.
This isn't what... So that goes back to what you were saying. Sound. Even how the thing even looks on TV. Like, there's no proper, like... It's like, you watch a thing on TV, you don't really appreciate it much. it's very, very like
Yeah. It's just, and even like, for people that have to watch it on YouTube Live and things like that, because we
you
have
do
Ghanaians.
YouTube live at TGMA.
People watch it on YouTube. Oh. The people that don't live in the country. Now, where are they going to watch it?
Because me TGMA, they mean maybe like live TV broadcast. That is it. I didn't think they'll stream itself.
Oh no, that's how Kwame watches it. Yeah, because it's like it never does translate. And another thing, I feel like our plaques
looks the same. Nothing
doesn't look the same. They've changed it, Mom. From when it started, they've changed it. But I have had the opportunity to visit certain artists that have won some of these awards. It's like 5 years down the line,
same plaques.
They look horrible.
Right.
Like the way they look, faded and stuff like that.
Sustenance.
Like also you think is the function of how the person has also kept it?
Not necessarily, but I feel like if you are doing something, obviously, if I give you a plaque, right, I know that you go and put the plaque in probably like a vault or maybe like where you keep your plaques or maybe a shelf or something. It's going to be there till maybe you die. So you have to make sure that the plaque is going to be able to withstand certain whatsoever. Maybe dust and you go feel cleaner one or two, but you just need to put a little bit of effort into it. I mean, when I saw some of the past plaques, when I saw them, when it was the Ghana map
with the
I think it was a guitar
music
something
inside.
When I saw it, I was a little bit discouraged, but I was like, okay, cool. But those times so
but the new ones don't look any better. I feel like please. The thing is, like, a lot of people like to say that, we be like complaining and things. But see, my thing about this industry is like critiquing is like a big part of entertainment show business, which is why I really like your show. I think that if only people in this country's entertainment business will get out of their feelings about critique, you'd go far. Not everybody's going to like you and what you do. And not everything that you do is going to be great just because maybe you've done great things before. And you should be open to the fact that somebody can critique you and mean well.
I think TGMA actually stepped up when 3 Music Awards came. They stepped up their game to a certain extent.
Production-wise?
Yeah, production-wise, curating performances, like, and what's not. At first, TGMA, you just call artists, they'll come and perform and then they'll go home.
Also then,
you just come and perform and then they'll go home. Like, I'm pretty sure back then they didn't really see the need of maybe like reimagining the songs that they'll perform on stage and all of that. But I feel like 3 Music gave them like a fair competition.
Yeah.
And sometimes maybe I'll blame 3 Music too. Because you people know right now, that'd be why these people don't feel like, there's competition enough. So they're still going to
but it all comes down to money.
But then, bro, like when 3 Music was actually 3 Music, people stopped paying attention to TGMA for a second.
Yeah.
Because 3 Music gives you like an experience. Look at what they did during the lockdown.
Yeah. I think crazy. When it comes to like their production in terms of stage performances and things, it's like even something to look forward to. Yeah. But I mean, it's investment.
But see the 3 Music performances you were watching. Bro, some of them plenty technical issues.
But we didn't know.
But see how it came off.
Yeah, exactly. Because the funny thing, I actually listened to Trevor Noah's podcast after the Grammys, and they were talking about the fact that there were a lot of failings, but to the untrained eye,
you never deep it.
You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. Well, anyway, before we move on to how inclusive the awards are, because that's another thing that I always think about. Rexoma made a comment recently about the fact that Ghanaian artists need to stop focusing on the Grammys because Grammys is for American artists. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Uncle Rex is old, so Uncle Rex doesn't really understand the times of now. That's what I'm going to say. If Uncle Rex really understood the times of now, he wouldn't have made that statement. Or maybe he means it well. Maybe he means like, build Ghana first, then you can look outside. Because
he did say that like, focus your energy on TGMAs. This is your award scheme. He was talking about the fact like artists don't even value TGMAs. They are all like trying to get international acclaim.
Because you've not really, bro, back then, VGMA was a big deal. Back then, it was a big deal.
Yeah, it was.
Caucasian was coming on stage with wheelbarrows and stuff. It was a big deal.
Okay. I can't even tell if you're trolling. How can you say it's a big deal and then your big deal factor is a wheelbarrow?
It was a big deal in terms of like the experience because we know Caucasian to be like the Abodama time.
I think he even came without the tie. Bro, he was in a big tie.
It was a big deal at that time. But it's like times of now, things change. Like the world has opened. So maybe, and also because of how I feel like maybe because of how the award scheme is being run, so the artists and what's not, maybe they don't even appreciate it because it's like, Charlie, we feel underappreciated. Why should we even turn up for something like this? Like, let's turn our eyes somewhere else. That's probably it.
So how much of some of these like issues when it comes to like even performances and things would you put on the artist versus the award scheme? Because I also think that sometimes our artists don't really put a lot into the presentation of their craft. There are a few artists that are literally known for doing that and doing it well.
Right.
But like for the most part, I feel like our artists don't put a lot into it. And because of that, it's like if there's no demand for it. So if I'm doing an award show and I don't have people coming up to me saying, I want the stage to come up, I want water here, I'm not going to like level up.
But then also, I think it's the production, it's the production team of the award scheme. To be very honest, the reason why I really enjoyed working on like Kim Promise's like performance curation and all of that was because it was something new. It was even new for Kim Promise. Right. It was new for Kim Promise and his entire team. So like you pitch something to them, you pitch something that's like out of this place. You pitch it to them and they're like, hey, how we go do it? Oh, no worry. Me, I do the recce, I figure out how you go work already. So just trust me and let's just do it. Now, when you are able to do this once, twice, other artists will come and be like, oh, I want to perform. I want you to curate a performance for me. I want you to collaborate with me so we give these people an experience. But the moment maybe your production team or your production crew is probably sleeping and then maybe they are not really doing their work well. And I am saying, they sleep because they just want to get up and make people come and do. Or sit there and then they go and sit down. Nah, bro, it's not supposed to be that. It's work. You have to sit down, stress yourself, curate performances. The reason why we liked Blacko before he dropped The Villain I Never Was because he went on 3 music awards and he went to do the Rain thing.
Yeah. And
then again, the Rain thing too. There were issues.
Yes, but no, we didn't know.
Yes.
I know the microphone went off or something.
Yes, but then we still loved it because Charlie, we don't really see that. You don't see anyone performing and rain is pouring on them. The last person we saw that was Sarkodie at maybe like a couple of years ago, TGMA, when he performed Hope featuring Kwabla. And then that was it. That was the closest we got to someone giving us an experience at TGMA.
TGMAs,
that.
But I mean, I feel like since then, they've tried a little bit. I mean, we had Ifya on the swing.
That was last year.
Yeah. So they trying to chip in a little bit of creativity. How inclusive would you say these awards are? Because for me, it almost always seems like Accra Music Awards.
Right. Okay, I know.
And whenever you have like any, because what's the name of this guy from the north? Fancy. I remember when that year that he won, like that was the first time I think I realized that Ghanaians all over Ghana pay attention because when he went back to the north, they had a whole like parade for him and everything. But I don't know. Do you think that they're inclusive? Because even look at the Asaka boys, they were doing music for the longest time and they didn't even come into the TGMA's periphery until like they became like, Stormzy, whatever.
Yeah, I feel you. But I think that I'll speak on Fancy. But I think that Asaka boys, they didn't do them a body. But with Fancy, you see, sometimes when people say this, I feel some way because, Charlie, we they do that thing for Africa. But if Grammy nominates Burna Boy right now, Burna Boy go. Burna Boy, they do that thing for Nigeria and all of that too. But Burna Boy wouldn't feel validated until Grammy nominates him or until maybe he wins a BET award or something. That is how it's always been. Sarkodie won Best International Flow in 2019. We applauded him. Yes. If Sarkodie had won the Best International Flow or Best Rapper in Ghana, some way. I'm serious. Over there, like up in the north, some way, because the industry is here. Charterhouse is not in the north. The board is in Accra.
But it's Ghana Music Awards.
It is.
So how inclusive?
The reason why Fancy at that time was able to like cross over was because the song crossed over to this place.
Yes.
But you don't go play song just for Tamale and then expect people go hear the song for you. No,
but that's my critique right there, because it's like if it's Ghana Music Awards, right? Why must the barrier for entry be your song blowing in Accra?
But you see the question you're asking. Cool. It's Ghana Music Awards, but Wiyala has never gotten recognition for the songs he's churned out. Wiyala has been touring like the world.
Yes.
She doesn't,
and that is a problem.
No one has actually vouched for her. No one has actually made put their foot and be like, nah, we are la agenda, me kasama. No one has actually done that. The reason why the Asaka boys weren't able to, or they weren't taken like into consideration in terms of the TGMAs was because when they started, right, there was this whole agenda portfolio. They started a whole agenda, right, about the boys and all of that. And mind you, it's an award scheme. You need to file for nomination. If you don't file for nomination, those people, they can't do anything about it. Because you've done your own music and you're not filing for nomination as to why you deserve to be awarded or why you deserve to be recognized. Now, when you file for nomination, you are being considered or you are being nominated. That itself is an award.
So you think that artists all over the country, the reason why we are seeing maybe the same group of people or whatever is because certain people are not also applying?
No, they are not. Certain people are not applying. Like the Asaka boys like this, they didn't apply for like 2 years. And the reason why Yao Talk Sorry was able to get through was because Yao Talk was separated from the Asaka boys.
Right.
Mind you, even right now, we've not even had the serious buzz that we had from the Asaka boys like in the 2020, 2021. Yeah. So right now, like it's almost non-existent. So those boys are like, they were the ones who did that to themselves. And they've not been able to move past that. But mind you, I'm not even going to cut you off. They were saying it was a Kumasi thing. But right now, you look at DJ Slim. DJ Slim has moved from Kumasi. He's in Accra right now. Portfolio has moved from Kumasi. He's in Accra right now. So like this whole Accra thing, the Asaka boys, they are living in Accra right now. Whether you like it or not, the thing is here, you just have to come and apply yourself. That is it.
I think it's like the game is the game.
Yeah, it's just the
like
game.
If you want to get the recognition, blow up in Accra, because it's kind of like the same thing in America. You go to Hollywood, you make it, then you are like, yeah, I guess. But I just think that sometimes, Ghana Music Awards, maybe they need to sit down and I don't know if they are literally very intentional about the fact that we have to have representation from all regions in the music that we are selecting. I wonder if they do that.
I don't think the research team is that like vast.
Hey.
I'm serious. I don't think the research team is that vast. Because to be very honest, like when preparing for awards, the research you have to do is crazy. Even in terms of nomination, what song, like when the song was released, what category does this song fall under and all of that? It's very crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. So I think maybe the research team is not that vast. And maybe also, I'm actually speculating. Maybe also like, they don't really have a lot of people vouching for some of these people or putting their foot down for some of these people. Last year, for instance, Amaah was supposed to perform. Amaah willingly wanted to perform. But they didn't meet Amaah's requirements in terms of certain production whatsoever. So Amaah didn't really perform.
What do you feel about the Ghanaian response to Amaah? Like generally, especially on Twitter, it just seems like it's always this love-hate relationship going on.
I think maybe because Amaah is coming from a silver spoon house and people don't really...
It's not a grass to grace story. So it's like...
I think we like suffering too much. Like we just have to accept it. Bro, it's just Amaah. The girl is hot. That is it.
Yeah.
She does good music. That is it. Just accept it and then just move on.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people to say that she doesn't make music for Ghanaians. And I don't know what that means because guys, I've keep telling you, Ghanaians are not a monolith. You say it's true?
It's true because it's true because last year I did an editorial about like the top 5 most streamed artists in Ghana. Amaah was number 1, but I didn't count her as number 1.
Why?
Because, bro, her streams weren't coming from Ghana.
Where are they coming from?
Oh, from the States. And the second place was Nigeria. Ghana was like number 3 on Amaah's list.
But I find that very interesting that like when she started to blow up, she was blowing up in Nigeria. So if people in Nigeria can appreciate her music, what is the problem?
She started blowing up in Nigeria because the alternative scene in Nigeria is bigger than Ghana.
Right.
That is why. And the people she started with in Nigeria, like those people are all Santi, the Odunsis, all those people. Yeah. Like all those people are more or less like alternative kings right now. So yeah, obviously, if Santi should be like, Amaah is coming on my... Amaah would gladly go on Santi's stream.
Anyway, now that we're talking about Amaah, another thing I'm also realizing is like women in music. It's very rare that we even have women in the Artist of the Year conversation.
Right.
And I'm wondering what the problem is.
They are not doing enough.
They are not doing enough?
Yeah, they are not doing it.
Really? I've actually heard, like I've heard a couple of conversations where people say women artists don't pull their weight.
They are not really doing enough. I mean, like the last person who actually stood for the women was Ebony. Bro, like you never go anywhere without hearing Ebony's song, or maybe Ebony has done something. You know? Ebony was everywhere up until she died.
When you say they're not doing enough, what do you mean?
They're not pushing themselves enough. Like I feel like, and sometimes like female artists just release the music, they do one or two, and just because they're females, like yeah, they'll just listen to it, but then that is it. It doesn't end there. Like you need to do extra. You might think maybe you have an advantage and whatnot, but you have to do extra. The year Miss V actually like gained some grounds, Miss V was actually doing a lot.
Which was signed to Lynx, right?
Yeah, Miss V actually branched from doing whatsoever she was doing, even into dancehall. That was how crazy Miss V was working.
But the thing was that I think that Miss V's dancehall marketing was very intentional at the time, because I feel they were trying to pit her against Kaki, and that also helped to create buzz. Because there was like this unspoken rivalry going on. I think that was just the genius of Lynx marketing.
But I think Kaki didn't even last. Kaki just lasted for like a year and a half or some 2 years, and then
honestly, I don't think that Kaki didn't last because she flopped or anything. I think
she didn't flop. Like she just
she didn't.
She just dipped.
She went to pursue nursing and everything. But yeah, I honestly feel like if there was no Kaki, Miss V probably wouldn't have done dancehall.
So Kaki basically influenced.
Yeah, I think it was a thing. Like the record labels are like, let's do Peter, you know?
But I think if Kaki actually didn't leave, Miss V wouldn't have stood a chance.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
But then as to the women, I feel like they don't really push themselves enough, to be very honest. I feel like they don't their songs are good, but it's not enough. When was the last time you heard of Jackie?
You know, no, Jackie put out some music this year.
To what extent?
What's the name of that song? Stuck in the middle of an elevator. It's been so long.
I don't hear that song up until Cheat on You.
I don't want to cheat on you.
I'm serious.
But that's Kitty's song.
Yeah, but up until Cheat on, I hadn't heard of Jackie.
She's working on an album apparently.
It's been too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been too long. Right now, the way music is, if you release album 2 weeks, we've forgotten about
That's
you.
another thing I do not like about Ghanaian artists. I feel like somebody has told them that when they are working on a project, they need to be silent. Like you can be doing things, you can be doing media runs, plugging yourself into things, appearing here and there. You don't have to do this.
Or even promo, look at how long Molly promoted Shake It to the Max.
Yeah, I just thought she's put out like some new song.
Amaah is about to release, I think,
Black
an
Star.
album.
Yeah,
she hasn't released it yet, but it feels like she's released it.
Yeah,
because of the pre-promo. It's like it's not enough. Like there's no intentionality behind. I'm doing my music, I'm putting it in your face.
Yeah.
There's no really intentionality. That is why we don't really give room for female acts to also enter, because the moments they enter, it's just like a select few, and then that is it.
In the last 5 years, which 3
female acts?
Yes. Don't mention Amaah, because I would say Amaah is like globally killing it, but like in the Ghanaian market,
female acts.
Yes.
Are they actively selling, or like female acts that I'm actually like paying attention to?
I feel like if it's the ones you're paying attention to, I don't know if we'll get much, because you have your biases. But
last 3 years, 2023, Jackie. Who else?
Wendy Shay.
Yeah, I'll give Wendy.
Like she's got the streets on lock.
No, Wendy Shay is actually working.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I said the females don't work. But Wendy Shay really
working.
No, Wendy Shay actually outworks almost every female act in Ghana.
Only the women.
Only the women. I'm serious. And you see, like for Wendy Shay to actually, bro, Wendy Shay is street, so like the way she even like pushes her music, like the places she even plays shows at and all of that, bro, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's just the two of them. I think it's Wendy Shay and then
you can't get one more.
Jackie. I think Sina just poked her head again. So I think Sina has been bubbling for some time now. But I think maybe the year for end before I go see. But for like the past 2 years or 3 years, it's just Wendy Shay and Jackie.
Wow. Well, I mean, it is kind of true to an extent. But you know, a lot of people also argue that women are more expensive to promote in the industry because it's hair, it's makeup, it's outfits, in addition to everything else. Guys, you know, you just don't have to do as much. And I don't know how much of that is a lie.
It's a lie.
Why did you say it's a lie?
It's a lie. I've worked with males, I've worked with females. Like it's pretty much the same thing. One is a little bit more emotional than the other. So maybe it's just the emotions.
Reginald.
I'm serious. I'm serious.
But niggas are emotional too.
Yeah, niggas are emotional, but like with niggas, you can get past certain things. But with maybe if you are managing a woman, and also like Punch actually said this, bro. Like if you are managing a woman, it's just not the music. It's like everything else. Like with the artist I was working with, like he can actually be like, bro, Charlie, I know they feel well. Hey, my mind they bear me and since I'm like, okay, cool. Pipimu, okay, but yeah.
Wait.
I'm like, let me rephrase. I'll be like, okay, try treat your ADHD. It will be cool. Then we move. But with the woman,
You can tell her that.
no, like I would actually have to sit with you, understand a lot of things. Maybe,
But you know the funny thing, I feel like male artists can also benefit from sitting down to have that conversation to
but you see,
understand.
we are not wired like that.
Well, maybe if we should, because it takes me back to a conversation you had on your channel about artists being really bad at interviews.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Ghanaian society is so strict that our artists do not feel
They feel like
the
they have
freedom.
to be prim and proper.
Yes.
Yeah.
They cannot present their
Yeah, I feel like
personalities.
they have to be
Because
prim
me,
and
I know
proper.
some of these artists, like I know them before the film and everything, and I know that they have a personality.
Mhm.
But every time they go on these shows,
Then they are.
it's
After-
like you are going to talk to Andy Dusty, and it's giving very yes da, yes ma,
Yeah.
oh power chop. Like I hate it.
Spray starch
I hate
responses.
it. Yeah, you can look at someone like Ira Star. She's like what 22, 23,
Mhm.
and she's going to be interviewed by somebody who's in their 40s, and she's not
And
giving
she's
you
cool,
that
yeah.
humility.
Nah, she's not trying to do any of
Yeah.
that. Because like, bro, like it's our time now. Like I've also had the chance to interview a lot of artists, and how I talk to them away from their cameras is different from how they talk to me when the cameras are rolling.
True.
It's a little bit long for me because
Yeah.
I want to ask you something about your music, and you now your own song, but then you are being somewhere about it. So I'm like, hey, I don't even know been a trauma,
Yeah.
been a trauma or grandpa, at least rehearse here, cause
I've had so many experiences like that, and it's crazy because it's also like sometimes they are here, there's management here, and then it's like the rehearsed answers,
Mhm.
Oh, first of all, I want to give a shout out to God who always inspires, and it's like, why are we doing this?
Even you go to TGMA, an artist receives an award, and bro, look at what Kanye did at the Grammys. Everyone was just wondering what I would do if I didn't win.
So
I guess we'll never know.
also, it's a really wild time to be quoting Kanye right now. But sure. I completely understand.
I was actually highlighting on like the charisma, like
Yeah.
the experience they give you with some of these things. You don't have
It's
to
very
be,
personality driven.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that Blacko has over a lot of people.
Yes.
Is that he's not, he doesn't shy away from his
No.
personality. Yeah.
I think mostly too is the old people, like the younger ones don't really do that.
Really?
It's the older ones.
I don't think so.
It's the, I mean, I feel like,
Even the younger ones, like, we don't have for example, on social media,
Mhm.
you realize that if it's not like perfectly curated photos
Mm-hmm.
or events that they attend, in between, you're not getting random
Mhm.
videos of just them being themselves. Like I'll tell you, like Tenny the Entertainer, one of the
Mhm.
reasons why I was a
Ooh.
huge fan of Tenny was I used to follow her Instagram. She would just randomly go on live, make melodies, crack jokes. So you like the personality
Right,
of the person so much that when they put the music out, you want to follow.
I think
But
that's
it's like,
why people like Blacko.
yeah, because like between drops,
They are doing
we don't know
something.
you.
Yeah. Like show us more, like show us you behind the music.
Yeah, man. Because I feel like artists don't understand that it all adds to the selling of the music. But anyway, I wanted to like get into some of the categories. By now, I mean, people already know who won whatever. Are there certain people in certain categories that you think don't belong? I know.
I don't know why you're asking me this. I'm
know
pretty sure you are asking because you saw my editorial.
Of course, I've seen your editorial. So which category do you want to start with? Do you want to get into Artist of the Year first? Or you want to do... Where should we take
no.
it?
Let's start with Artist of the
Artist of the
Year.
Year. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
One thing about me is I am fully aware that when it comes to like the gospel streets,
Mhm.
I don't have information.
Right.
So every time they put a gospel artist in the Artist of the Year, I'll say Faye. That
Mhm.
is their representative,
Right.
However, what is Team Eternity doing there?
Team Eternity actually deserve to be there.
Why?
I'm not going to lie to you. Like, bro.
Because I feel like, okay, and this could be uninformed, But if this is all coming off of Defe, then I'm like,
well, maybe because you are not tapped in.
Yeah, I'm not tapped in.
Maybe I'm also
full
not,
disclosure.
Yeah, full disclosure too. I'm
But
not
artist of the year.
Yeah, no.
Team
So
Eternity.
I think maybe it's a thing for the award scheme because for like the past 3-4 years, there has to be a gospel act in there.
PSC Esther versus Black Hole.
And all of that.
You know the marketing of that era, lights versus darkness. I was like, what do you people mean? Like,
it's just music at the end of the day.
Music.
Yeah.
No, but like,
Wait, is Joe Metal in there?
Yeah, Joe Metal is in there, and that's fine.
Uncle Joe.
Yeah, that's fine. It's just for me, like when I saw Team Eternity, of course, I only know Defe, and that's another thing. These gospel artists, they really be playing shows because every weekend there's a crusade.
Yes,
and so if they're saying number of shows that they play, then they actually everybody here.
I was doing this like Friday. I think I was doing something. It was like a playlist or something, and I was looking for like pictures from Team Eternity, and I went on their Twitter, bro. Like
every weekend,
uniformed pampshe.
Yeah.
in multiple pictures, like different ones at different settings. I'm like, hey, and then Mubo shows power because like
they really, because you know this, like I feel like our regular artists, it has to be Independence Day party, Easter, Christmas, like it's very specific.
But the church doesn't stop.
These niggas 4 weekends in a month, they are always performing. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, artist of the year, who doesn't belong here?
I think so far Team Eternity, Stonebwoy, Kim Promise, Kim Paluta. I think it's just the 3 of. Hey, Kweku
Smoke.
Huh. Is it just the 5 of them in there?
Let's go. Kim Paluta, Joe Metal, Kweku Smoke, Team Eternity, Black Sheriff, Stonebwoy, and Kim Promise. Joe Metal does not belong.
Yeah, Joe Metal.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
When I look, like whenever I hear Joe Metal, I compare Joe Metal to Bononi era. I've not really felt Joe Metal.
But are you plugged
like
into the gospel scene, would you say?
Me?
Yes.
I'm way unplugged than you are.
Oh, okay. So you're just saying it's based on a hand time.
You know, like it's not a hand time,
like
but you
Joe
like
Metal.
Like by you, like when the song is like when the person has actually done something, bro. Bononi time was crazy.
Right.
You don't go anywhere without hearing Bononi.
But I feel like this era, we haven't had any like standout.
We haven't really had any standout thing from Joe Metal.
So Team Eternity should be the gospel rep for this year.
Just them.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's go one by one. There's been a lot.
Wait, also Black Sheriff should be out.
Okay, I actually believe that.
Black Sheriff should be out.
For the year under review.
Yeah, Black Sheriff should be out. Yeah. So it should just be Team Eternity. Is Kweku Smoke in there?
Yeah, he's there.
Team Eternity.
Why do you think Kweku Smoke belongs here?
Look at, bro, last year, do you know what the guy did?
Tell us.
Bro, like, and you see, like, I am not on Kweku Smoke's team, but you need to give credit when credit is due. Like,
did you see the video Ikea Tilly did?
No.
Where she went out, because she was saying that Kweku Smoke does not belong here, and people were attacking her. So she literally went out into the streets and spoke to random people on video. She would play, what's Kweku Smoke's song? Is it?
It's a lot. Holy Ghost, a lot. Ejekum.
So she would play Ejekum, then she would play Lomo, then she would play like Makoma and things like that. And consistently across board, people didn't know Kweku Smoke. I feel like
people didn't know Kweku Smoke.
Yes, she only got like 2 or 3 people in the video.
She was asking like maybe like real trench streets guys. She wasn't asking.
So Kweku Smoke is not for trenches.
He's for trench people, but it's for trench people who stream music. Yeah, that's how come he was able to top the charts on Apple Music, because real trench people, the freemium people, they won't stream your music.
The audio mark.
Yeah, they won't do that.
No, but you know what I would say is like I was telling you, I heard Kweku Smoke's album in my barbershop, and he's a good talent. I've seen a couple of Instagram videos where he's promoting some of the music. There's one where he got out of this car. Yeah. And I felt like it was really great, good talent. But I wonder that sometimes for people like him, where it's like very hip hop centered, you know, is it befitting to put them in Artist of the Year?
Yeah. When
Ghana, like our music scene, like hip hop does not really
so you dominate. See, before, I don't know what genre you classify Black Hole as, but the year Black Hole won the awards, Black Hole was a hip hop act. Right?
Really?
Yeah. Black Hole was a hip hop act. Now, with Kweku Smoke, the issue with Kweku Smoke is not even about his music. It's just about the guy's image not being in the faces of people. aside Kweku Smoke dropping music, you won't hear anything about Kweku Smoke.
True.
Kweku Smoke, up until he was about to do the revival concerts, wasn't doing interviews and anything. He was just there doing music, releasing music. That was all. So I think that is why. But as to if a hip hop act deserves to be in there, 100%. Because you don't drop 2 albums in a year and the 2 albums are number 1 and number 2. It doesn't happen. As a hip hop act, Ghanaians don't really consume hip hop. So for that to happen, that's very crazy. And you topped it off with a revival concert.
So Kweku Smoke definitely belongs there.
Yeah.
And you said Team Eternity.
Team Eternity.
Okay. Who else?
Stonebwoy and Kim Promise.
You know, I feel the same way you feel about Black Sherif when it comes to Stonebwoy this year. I think that...
you didn't think Up and Running was good?
I think that Up and Running, it didn't
market it.
Give what
Fifth Dimension
gave. Like, I saw the strategy. Just like with Fifth Dimension, he had like Davido and them come into the country, do all of that. I saw the same thing with Spice, but I just feel like it did not stick as much as Fifth Dimension did. And you know, did he win last year?
Yeah, he won.
He won last year, right? Yeah. And I feel like if we're going to do a consecutive win, it didn't give that. Like, it didn't, like, it has to be one of those things where it's glaring. Like, these conversations we are having about who is supposed to win is like unanimous. Then it makes sense.
Oh, this year is unanimous.
That's who, Stonebwoy?
No, this year is Promise. Yeah, some people are there and they are trying to do self-puts.
I'm sorry, Kim Faluta's team have made massive arguments.
I'm very sorry. Like,
Kim Faluta's team has made... Portfolio is talking about it. You know, Portfolio says, even in addition to all of that, they also contributed to the culture because everybody says Apeki. Like, Apeki is... Everybody says Apeki. It became a thing. What phrase did Promise bring?
Bro, it's just 5-star, bro.
Like, you know,
Promise doesn't really.
No, it's true to self. True to self.
Yeah, like, but Promise is just like 5-star. Like, I'm not going to lie. Promise doesn't really have any of those things because Promise, the work Promise does is just because we are in Ghana. We don't really have Ghanaians documenting it. But last year,
why is the team not documenting it then? That's one thing I'll say about Ebony. When Ebony was alive, her YouTube, I think a lot of people learned from that. She put everything was on every show she does, everything, her own team. So is it we don't... No,
like, you see, when I say documenting it, as in like where Promise, Jesus Christ, where Promise has played, where, because I saw something like Promise actually performed at a place where no other Afrobeat artists.
I think he did Asia.
Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But we document it, but it just ends there. We don't really have people like carrying it on, it's not being discussed on entertainment shows early in the morning. It is not.
But maybe it's also because our entertainment journalists are unqualified.
Not necessarily, but
I think maybe because I've seen some of these entertainment shows where you have somebody come and sit down and berate a young lady because she's wearing a crop hoodie top and baggy pants and doesn't even know the name of the album and say did life. And this is supposed to be an entertainment correspondent for a morning show. Let's be very serious. Give the right people the jobs. People that live, breathe, like somebody like Reginald Amaah that is like deep into, he has a journalism degree, right?
In case you didn't know.
Yes. They're rather going to go for somebody who is sensationalized for nonsense and then they put them there. So
you are going inside. Is it because of the shades you're wearing?
Oh, yes, because no, but I'm just saying. I just feel like they're unqualified. That's what it is. But look, top 2 people, I think Kim Promise deserves it this year. I have a little beef with him because I feel like True to Self wasn't promoted as much as I would have loved it to.
Do you like that album?
I love it. I think the song with Faith is the best thing on the album. Permission Granted is the best thing.
I have a rebuttal.
You really?
I think it's Madu.
No,
I think it's Madu.
No,
like the song Madu comes with this nostalgic feel from Baby I'm Jealous. That was what it was sampled from. So like when you know all
Come
of that,
closer.
Nah.
Hey, and you know what annoys me?
Permission
I feel like,
932 went
No. I feel like he finished like that album and then he just pushed it aside and dropped
because he had to go on tour.
Keep It Sexy, and now Keep It Sexy was you can promote.
Yeah. I think, we just drop the thing and then like it just ends there. We don't really have people to carry it through.
Nah. But I definitely do feel like this is Kim Promise's year. But I listened to Portfolio and I felt like he made some strong points for Paluta.
For Paluta.
Well. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, Stonebwoy and Blacko, good effort, but this is not their year. I think it's between Kim Promise and Paluta.
I think the reason why you feel like Portfolio made some interesting points in journalism, there's something called the agenda setting theory. He's just setting the public agenda.
Yeah.
That's the same thing he did for Stonebwoy last year and he worked. But this year, I'm sorry, it's not going to work.
I mean, because look, I remember seeing there was this video of like these kids, whether they were in Europe or something, and they were singing Makoma word for word. They were not even Ghanaian kids. So if you're talking about like exposure and how far, you know, they also have something to say over there.
No, but I don't think Paluta.
Apiki. All right, let's go to most popular song of the year. We have Olive the Boy, Asylum, Black Sharif and Kitty, Lomo Lomo, Last Mid Pool, Kim Paluta, Aseda, Black Sharif, January 9th, Kim Promise, Paris, Team Eternity, Defe Defe, and Stonebwoy, Jejereje. Who needs to go?
Aseda deserves to be there. Asylum deserves to be there as well.
Yeah, it's true. Lomo
Paris deserves to be there. Lomo Lomo deserves
January
to be
9th
there.
needs to go.
January 9th needs to go.
Yeah, I don't think it was that popular. But what do you make of this Makoma versus Aseda thing that happened?
I think Aseda is probably bigger than Makoma.
And I understand it because, you know, Christian Nation. But they said it had the most radio play.
Aseda.
Yes, that's why, because you can't keep two songs from one person. Oh. But yes, that's why they picked
these people they are actually eating their words too. So because they actually said this thing is not going to happen, it's happening.
That's why they didn't put it in. But I think that Makoma did more, like in terms of like, because there was a point where every time you open TikTok, you open Twitter, it was Makoma. But I can see how radio stations will be playing Aseda.
Wait, which song is Makoma? Koye Mama.
Yes.
Yes. Aseda is bigger. Aseda is bigger.
Really?
Aseda is bigger. Hey, no. Hey, relax. There's Asylum. There is Paris. There is Lomo Lomo. Hey.
Honestly, I don't know. This is a voting category, right?
Yeah.
I don't think Olive the Boy's team have the budget to get the votes. But Asylum is definitely up there because Asylum was everywhere and is still everywhere. So I'm just going to discount Asylum on the count of if we are doing budgets
wise.
That leaves Lomo Lomo because you don't play with links. Like links is there. And then Aseda based off
what
on
portfolio
actual. Yeah, well, not just portfolio, but if it's votes, I can see people actually voting for Aseda.
But it will shock you that people will vote or Richie Mensah will do something.
Lomo. So you think Lomo is gonna win?
Lomo Lomo can win, but also not
Paris.
Hey, Charlie. I think because Promise is going to get Artist of the Year, they might probably
sacrifice certain things.
Yeah, they'll sacrifice a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think maybe this one, maybe Kiddy might
for Lomo,
or maybe Paluta. They might probably console Paluta with this.
Yeah, honestly. But you know what? They could give best collaboration to Kiddy and Blacko for Lomo. And then they'll give Aseda the win because of the fact that Makoma didn't.
This is the move from Charterhouse.
I'm not me.
If it actually plays out well, you know that.
I've never been to a single TGMAs in my life. The last category I actually want to talk about, because I mean, is the best new artist. I watched because I watched your editorial.
Yeah, this guy worried me.
I find it interesting that you call it editorials, but anyway, and yeah, what are your thoughts on this category?
So
we have Lali X Lola, Ara the J, Rap Father, Team Eternity, Beast Trap Kutum.
Beast Trap KOTL.
That's how I call it. Kutum. That's how I call it.
Actually,
I heard it's a king of the mic.
Yeah, king of the movement.
Yeah. Oh, it's Kutum for me. Like, honestly. And then Kwesi Amewuga. Yes.
Ara the J, Beast Trap, Team Eternity.
They are the ones that deserve to be there.
Yeah, just the three of them.
Hey, you Team Eternity, what's your say more power?
Yeah, Team Eternity, like it's just the three of them. Now, if you actually watch my editorial, like 2019, 2018, bro, the best new artists, their category.
Yeah, no, that was
stacked.
a tight, yes. Wendy Shea, Kim Promise.
It was I'm Kwame Eugene,
Yeah,
Kiddy,
that
Dako,
was-
it was stacked. And I'm not sure, maybe if you were in that category and then you didn't win, you know go vex. No, because you know you're there with killers.
Yeah.
Like you know go. And this category, there are people like a lot of. It's just 3 of them who are deserving to be in this category.
So you
The
said
rest-
B-Strap, Team, Eternity, and Ara.
and Ara, the rest are seat fillers. Like the rest are seat fillers. They are just like
Is there someone that you think should have been here that didn't get the?
Kojo Black.
Oh, it's true. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, Kojo Black should have been there, but
It's true. Wait. Did he apply? Maybe he didn't
I'm not
apply.
sure he filed for it.
Because
I think he's actually building a case to go for
Artist of the Year.
new artist of the year next year.
Wait, what's the difference between best new artist?
Oh yeah. Best new, but I feel like maybe
And he will do it next year.
he would- so that next year maybe to be only him.
So excellence is this year.
Yeah, so it qualifies for next year.
You think it will be only him? People will come out of the woodwork. So there's this guy that I saw. They said was Jubed.
Yeah, Jubed.
People will be coming
But
out.
one song is not enough.
One song is not enough.
It's not enough.
Oh, okay. So then what's Team Eternity doing here?
They've played church shows and since they've done a lot too. Maybe Team Eternity, they've released albums every you don't know.
Who do you think is gonna win? I want Ara to win.
I think B-Strap is going to win.
Really?
Yeah. I think B-Strap is going to win.
Hey, Team Ara the J.
B-Strap
should wake up
Kotom.
hope.
I think Kotom.
Kotom is gonna win.
Kotom is
No,
going
but
to
I actually I enjoy B-Strap as an artist,
win.
but I just I feel like for me artists all encompassing visually and everything.
Mhm.
So that's why
It's Nemo.
I like
Ara.
Ara the J, just like his presentation,
B-Strap has actually been here for a long time and he's actually done a lot. Last year, he started the year very well.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Friends,
Mm-hmm.
Amen,
Mm-hmm.
Yesu. You don't go to church. So
He's
you
on
don't.
a song with Sarkodie, right? There's
Yeah,
this song
Amen.
they-
And that
yeah.
song,
Is that on the mixtape?
yeah, is on the mixtape. That song,
Championship.
yeah, that
Yes, yes.
song, the producer, that song, Sarkodie was not even supposed to be on that song. I feel like Sarkodie, the instrumentation was catered strictly for B-Strap. When you hear the instrumentation, you know that's not. This is B-Strap. So Sarkodie was just a plus. After this, you can go back and listen to it.
What is that? What alarm is that?
Oh, I have to go to class. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to school. Why?
Okay, you're in school. Okay, so you really think B-Strap's gonna win?
Yeah, it's just B-Strap. I mean, like Nemo, like don't get me wrong, like bro, like you've done some good work, but bro, B-Strap, bro, it's just B-Strap.
For me, I just gotta say, are there any categories you think that they need to introduce?
Alternative.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like they need
For
to.
who and who?
Like-
Molly.
Yeah, like best alternative scene, because like right now I feel like where the alter scene is moving to, because we've not really had an alter scene for a very long time. That is why maybe La Même Gang saved then tank.
Oh, okay.
I'm serious
Mm.
because I got to know of Odunsi because of La Même Gang. Me the Odunsi koyedeng. But it was because of La Même Gang I got to know of Odunsi.
Right.
And I feel like right now the alter scene is becoming big.
Yeah.
And for an award scheme that has been running for like 26 years,
Mm-hmm.
if you are being progressive, you need to include some of these, these things.
definitely.
Because if you are not getting Amaah to come and perform, if you are unable to get her to come and perform, and then she's been nominated for Alternative Artist of the Year, and then she wins it, Amaah coming, getting her award, giving a speech, gives you some sort of like placebo or some sort of currency.
True.
Even if she puts it out, it gives you some sort of currency. It makes people feel like, or maybe it makes people in the artist scene feel like, oh, Amaah has been able to get recognition for this. Oh, then it means it's not a lost cause.
Yeah. Because I think that's what Ifya did for the vocalist category.
Mhm.
Because there was a time when like people weren't really like checking for singing.
Yeah.
And Ifya came in like, I think 5 years,
Mhm.
she was winning best female vocalist.
Was it? Okay, she did that before Aquaboy came, right?
I mean, it's two. It's female vocalist and male vocalist.
Okay.
I don't think they put it together.
Okay.
Yeah. But for me, I think the category they should introduce, just because they have music video,
Mhm.
I think is best dancer.
E.
Yeah. I
Best
think
dance group or best dancer. Oh, and also best
Dance-
group. They need to introduce best group.
As in what music group?
Yeah, best
How many
group.
groups do we have?
Oh, we have to. We have to.
The Dope Nation and who?
Yeah, Dope Nation and then Lali and Lola. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I feel like we don't have a lot of groups to make that
If
like
we had groups back then,
we had groups, VIP, Praye, Nkase, a Triple M. We had groups. I just feel like currently we don't. That's the reason why, because I feel like now dance has become a big part of the music scene. It's like everybody that has a song, they have to have a viral dance and things like that. So I can see if we put in a dance, because if you are awarding directors for best music video at the Ghana Music Awards, I think that dance having taken center stage, there should be a category for dancers.
How I'm trying to
not
think
dance
of,
group, dancers.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how the nominations is going to go.
The considerations will
the
be
technicalities
work
and
you are
all of
put
that.
into music videos, live stage performances, and then online as well. So for example, doing viral dance challenges and things like that. Because you know there's like Ziggy, there's like
there's DWP, there's DGL.
Yeah. I can see it all.
But the dancers, they are plenty, so maybe unless they are category, unless
it's
30
good.
people.
And you see, I even think like the dancers will even add a kind of like cool factor to their awards, because the dancers, they know how to show up. They dress well. They'll just bring a certain level of youthfulness to the awards, because sometimes that red carpet is just a waste.
Bro, you've never been to TGMA and look at how you're just speaking.
But I watch, we all watch the red carpet.
I don't really enjoy the red carpet. It's boring.
Exactly. They don't give us much.
And the place is hot
as hell, and it's not well curated. People are late. But anyway, moving on. Were there any snubs?
I think with the exception of Kojo Black, I also feel like the board should actually move past. You didn't file for nomination, so we won't.
So they should nominate people who don't feel like they want to be nominated.
Just because like some people feel like, oh, I don't want to do it this. I'm trying to be strategic. Some people also feel like they're way too big for it. But I feel like there should be clauses in there where they can actually come in and be like, nah, like we need to like put you in there. We need to do this and this and this. Maybe like a conversation can be had or something.
And they can reach out to the team and be like, hey, you're one of the popping artists this year. Why didn't you
file for nomination and those things? And also, yes, that they do that. They will call you and be like, oh, you've not filed for nominations. What's up?
Really?
If you tell them you're uninterested, they will leave you alone. So I'm pretty sure that's what most of them did. And maybe like Dope Nation too. Maybe that's what they did. Yeah.
Dope Nation didn't get any awards?
But the categories, I see that inside.
I didn't even take notice. Oh my God. Anyway, guys, listen, I feel like we have gone over time, but this has been a really dope conversation, honestly, Reginald. Yeah. Reginald is from the Full Access show.
Yeah.
YouTube name Full.
It's just Full Circle. Full Circle Africa.
Yeah, what's your social media?
It's my name. It's Reginald _Amaah on Twitter and Reginald _ Amaah on.
Please spell Amaah. Is it like AR?
No. So it's AMAAH.
Okay, yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
And Instagram, LinkedIn. It's everywhere. It's
LinkedIn?
Yeah, bro.
What are you doing on LinkedIn?
I told you I'm in school, so I'm trying to do school stuff.
I see. Well, if you like the opinions he shared.
But LinkedIn, like, is it that bad?
It's not bad. Actually, I've heard people are marketing music on LinkedIn now.
It won't go anywhere, mom.
Are you sure?
Bro, LinkedIn, everybody they set placebo for the
Exactly. It's like, isn't that where all like the Spotify execs and stuff are?
Yeah.
Exactly.
No one is paying attention to those things. We just like and repost, don't worry.
I know, right? Congratulations.
It's not deep.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, that's it.
But guys, look, if you enjoyed Reginald, his commentary, his vibe, I know every time I have a guest on here, right, there will be a whole group of people who come and be like, oh my God, and then there will be the people who be like, please, can I have his number? Is he single? Please, he has shared his socials, so like leave us alone with all of that. But anyway, yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be right back to do our listener letter, because you know we always do listener letters. By now we should know who the artist of the year is. And if we were just talking a load of bullshit, hey. All right, we'll be right back.